Is Anthony Davis back?
Yeah. When we say Anthony Davis is back, I think we're talking about at least his best version in a Lakers uniform, which is at least 2019 to 2020 Anthony Davis. That was him at his best for this team, and I think he has reached that level. I mean, he's just been dominant on the glass, but more so just scoring inside. Of course, his jumper isn't fully there. And I don't think it'll be there. It's just not part of his game nowadays. But when we talk about scoring inside, Anthony Davis has just been as dominant as it gets. Like in every single way, he's been asserting himself on the glass and asserting himself inside, just finding a way to just get buckets. Even when LeBron was out, he was leading the team just monster games, like scoring 37 and grabbing 20 boards. So Anthony Davis is officially back, man. Like a lot of disrespect was sent towards him these last 2 seasons, and of course, maybe some of that was justified because of injuries and inconsistent play. But he has shown his upside and the reason why the Lakers spent so much capital trying to get him here. So it's good to see him back.
And it's great to see AD looking like the AD that, we went to the finals with, man. He's playing healthy. He's playing aggressive. His defense is fantastic. And to be honest, man, he's been our number one leader for our Lakers squad. It hasn't been LeBron James. So AD been our go-to guy. And I think in the last 9 games, and he's been averaging, I think, what was it, 33, 14, and 2.5 blocks, or like 1.8, somewhere around the 2 block area. So for us, it's been shaping up fantastic. Hopefully he can stay healthy, and this is what we expected out of AD these last couple of years. Barring injuries, for him to be consistent, to be that force on the court, him to be that number one aggressive attacker to take over the Lakers squad instead of LeBron James. So I'm pretty excited to see how healthy he stays this year, and I want to see how far he takes us.
It's crazy. Everybody. There was somebody posted a video of, I think it was Anthony Davis, where he dropped like 40 and 20 in his days in New Orleans, and people were like, he's never going to be able to get to that level again. Which something that's something I found hilarious, because right now he's on this stretch where the last 10 games he's had at least over 20 points and at least double digit rebounds. In the last 9 games, it's over 25 and 15, 25 and 10. I'm sorry. So I mean, it's just funny. People, the jokes were hilarious. Anthony Day Davis and street clothes and stuff like that. But I always knew AD was capable of being this type of player, and relying too much on his jump shot. Not really being a force in the paint. Sometimes that's just how it comes. Being next to a guy like LeBron James, where you got to space out the floor and you got to be a jump shooter to be successful with him. But we know what he's capable of when he's down there on the block. So it's amazing to see what he's doing right now. And which leads me on to my next question. With the Lakers catching rhythm now, I believe this is maybe. I want to go ahead and fact check how many wins they've picked up since our last episode.
7-2. Or you start off 2-10, 7-2 the last 9.
7-2 in the last 9. With the Lakers catching rhythm, what does that mean for their season moving forward? What does that mean right now?
I mean, no disrespect, of course, but I believe in like the last 10 games, maybe the best team the Lakers have been was this Bucks team yesterday. But outside of that, I mean, they have faced the Spurs twice, the Trailblazers, Dame. So they have I mean, for the most part, they have been feeding off some mediocre teams. They are catching a rhythm, but at the same time, this isn't the squad that's going to go far. And I'm a firm believer in that. The squad, as it's currently constructed, won't go far. So the Lakers absolutely still need to make a trade. They need to get a guy like Miles Turner, someone like Buddy Hield, or maybe get in a 3-team trade with the Spurs. Get guys like Doug McDermott and Josh Richardson, and then Miles Turner from the Pacers. Somehow, some way, they still need to make moves, because this roster, as it is now, no matter how great Anthony Davis plays, no matter how good LeBron James plays, it just isn't enough to me to get wins against good teams, and I'm still not buying it. So.
I mean, I feel like we do still need some shooters on the court to spread around the ball with LeBron playing at the one most of the time. I feel like, although we did go, 7-2 the last 9 games, there's still problems, there's still issues on the court with us. I mean, especially with the shooting, having not even like a set shooter that we can have to say, hey, he's one of our big shot guys, someone like Clay or a big shooter. We don't have that on that team. So I do believe we still need to make another trade. But I do love the idea of Westbrook coming off the bench, man. Ever since he made that move to the bench, he's been playing like 6 man of the year. And I don't know if I do want to trade Westbrook at this point to relieve and lose a playmaker that coming off the bench and kind of takes the load off LeBron and kind of, helps AD on the court when he's on the court. I don't know if that's going to happen, but a guy like Miles Turner, or a guy like Buddy Hield, or somebody like from the Spurs, Jacob Poeltl, or I forgot the other kid's name, Doug McDermott, something like a shooter like that would add an addition to our team. And last thing I do want to say is just get Pat Bev off the team, please. Just get him off the team. The guy is useless. He plays 30 minutes a game. He ends up on the stat sheet: 1 rebound, 4 fouls, 1 point, 1 assist, and it's like, what is he doing? And so other than that, man, I do believe this team needs some shooters, but we'll see what happens down the line.
I think cutting Matt Ryan is probably signifying the Lakers want to make a move, but Patrick Beverley's contract can't get moved, I think, till December 15th, because that's usually the rule for players that get signed in the offseason. Their contracts aren't tradable till like December 15th. So maybe the Lakers are looking to move on from Patrick Beverley after this terrible stretch in this early part of the season. So that's what I'm assuming why they cut Matt Ryan.
Free up a roster position to make a deal happen later on in the season. But yeah, we'll see, man. I'm kind of happy though with the 7-2 record these last 9 games though. They've been balling out. And a lot of those games are without LeBron too, so I'm messing with it.
See, that's the thing, you know, a lot like LeBron James, he's been in and out of the lineup the last maybe 2 weeks since we last talked about the Lakers. And they've looked good without him. You know, they have an identity without LeBron James on the court. It's simply, okay, Russell Westbrook's going to step in and, you know, be the facilitator, and Anthony Davis is going to be the guy. He's going to be the main guy. That's why his numbers look so good, because he's going back to his days in New Orleans where he's the number 1 option. And when he was the number 1 option, it's 28 and 12 guaranteed every night. Doesn't matter who he's going up against. So right now with the Lakers catching rhythm, I feel like a trade in the near future would be good. But I think right now, I think you just got to stick it out and thug it out with what you guys have. Because it's working, even though you guys are beating up on some bad teams. You know, you guys play San Antonio 3 times in a matter of like a week and a half. So it's like nothing too crazy. But at the same time, I feel like right now you guys are starting to figure out, like, you guys are starting to figure out who you guys are without LeBron James. And now, of course, we know who LeBron James is, and it's not hard to insert a guy like him into any lineup in the league. So, you know, because last night watching that game against the Milwaukee Bucks, the game plan was just pretty simple. It was just, you know, Anthony Davis is having a night, and then, you know, LeBron James is just playing right behind him, just doing what he can. Because, you know, Anthony Davis to go toe-to-toe with Giannis, putting up 44 points, 10 rebounds, and a couple 3 blocks, like, that's something, like, he needs to be the guy moving forward. And then LeBron James contributing, of course, his 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. So Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, he's going to be the guy that's going to be in the closing lineups. We all know that. But moving on from other guys like Patrick Beverley, who I believe can be, you know, key contributors on other teams, just not this Lakers team, because, you know, when you think about Patrick Beverley, he's just straight up defense, and, you know, a guy is going to be a pest on the court, but he's not going to fit in with the Lakers when, you know, they lack shooting. And like Abdi said, you know, they got rid of a guy like Matt Ryan, and you know, Patrick Beverley's contract, they're able to move him on December 15th when that day kicks in. So I think right now with them catching rhythm, I think you just stick it out with what they have, and then maybe depending on, you know, where they're at some point in January, like mid-January, but right before the trade deadline, you might want to make a move then. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, what LeBron James and Anthony Davis are doing, specifically Anthony Davis, they're making a statement right now to, you know, Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, even though our roster, it doesn't compare to any of the top rosters in the league, we're still going to be competing on a nightly basis no matter what. So it's up to you guys to, you know, to provide us with some support and some help, because at the end of the day, if we fail as a franchise, it's not going to be on LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It's going to be on their supporting cast, and that's what they're trying to make sure of, with, you know, with the way they've been playing lately. So I just honestly is where I stand with them.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now Lakes, now that's overkill.